Oops. So today I want to start with going over last night's homework. There has been a little bit of confusion, so I just want to go through and explain some of these. Yesterday we worked on combining or simplifying expressions. So, just kind of going through these. Y'all check at the same time. I see a 7n minus a 3n is 4n, and at the end should be the plus 3. The next one, 3c plus 2c is 5c plus 6. Okay, 7e plus 2e would be 9e plus 4. Okay, there's only this one with a variable, the 2n. Now, 4 plus 7, 11. Okay, we've got only the 3n. Then 8 plus 3, 11. Okay, 2a plus 1a is 3a. That's a positive 7, so it's plus 7. Okay, this is 6n minus 2n is 4n plus 13. We've got 3f, this is like a positive 3f, minus 2f is 1f. We have talked about taking the 1 away. It should just be an f plus 5. Plus 5 because this is a positive 5. You drop the 1. You drop the 1. Okay, the next one. Question? Question? Okay, just wondering.
Is it better if you like a number in this head?
Oh, like 5 plus f?
Yeah,
No, that is 5. I would take it either way. They do want you to get used to putting the variable, anything with variables in the front, though. So I'm trying to get y'all to do that. But okay, next one. 6m plus 6m would be 12m plus 5. Next one would be 2s plus 4s would be 6s plus 11. Now, this is where the controversy begins, and I wish you'd really check your paper. This is a positive 9c. Take away 3c. So that is 6c plus 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. Next one. 15n plus 1n is 16n plus 11. Okay. Here's another controversial one. You've got minus 1. Minus 1n plus 3n. Think about it this way, guys. If you are at negative 1, if you're at negative 1 and you add 3, 1, 2, 3, you are at 2n plus 13. You cross the 0. Things change. Be careful. Okay. 4r minus 1r is 3r. 10 minus 1 is 9. Be careful. The symbol has to be plus 9. That is a biggie. You got to think, are you in the positive side of the number line or the negative? And if it's 10 minus 1, you're in the positives. Okay, next one. 20y plus 3y is 23y. Minus 2 is 21y. Minus 4. 5t minus 2t is 3t plus 7t is 10t. 17 minus 7 is plus 10 because you're in the positives. Another one you need to check. It's plus 10, not minus 10. Do y'all see why it's a plus 10, though? Okay. You're just worrying me. Okay. 9p plus 9p is 18p. Minus 9p is 9p. Now, if you're at negative 2 and you add 6, you're at positive 4. Positives are the same as pluses. Negatives are the same as minuses. It's just that we're just now starting it. Negatives and all that. Okay, on the back. This is where they got trickier. Okay. You guys have got to be able to do this. Here we go. Let's see. 7nm minus 3nm is 4nm plus 5bc plus 3. Okay. 7e plus 2e is 9e. 4ef plus 1ef is plus 5ef plus 2g plus 4. If you need to underline them, if you need to mark them out, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to start with the AC because we said start with variables. So 3AC plus 9AC is 12AC. 6CB plus 2CB is 8CB. And this is a positive 6 plus 4 is 10. Whew. Okay. You need to be checking it. Okay, next one. We've got, let's see, 7A plus 5A plus 3A. 15A? Uh-huh. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. 2B plus 9B is 11B. Okay. The next one is 7PQ plus 7PQ is 14PQ. I hope you saw this. Minus 1PQ. 13PQ. Negative 2nm plus 5nm is plus 3nm minus 7. Right here is minus 7. Okay, but look, this is negative 2. I need you to look at this. This is negative 2 plus 5. So if you're at negative 2 and you add 5, you're at 3 on the number line. Okay, you've crossed the 0. Things change. You've got, we got to start seeing these things. Some of you aren't even looking over your homework to see if you've got them right or wrong. I really hope that you are checking it. Here we go. We got an A plus 2A is 3A. A B plus another B is plus 2B. A C plus 3C is plus 4C. Plus 7AB. Because there's a B and there's a B. 1B plus 1B. Okay, 7K plus 9K, 16K. Plus 10K is 26K. Minus 2 is 24K. That's fine. It doesn't matter the order as long as you've got the right numbers with the right letters. 17C plus 8C is 15C.
Wait, how's it?
No, wrong one. 17 plus 8. 25. Honestly, there's so much talking and not paying attention that it's kind of just throwing me off for a second while I'm recording. Question? I don't mind. Now, there is this 7 and that 10, but you also had that 9 and that 2. You gotta take this slow, guys. This isn't something you can rush through. Okay, looking at the next one. I have 6xy plus 3xy is 9xy. Now, I have negative 1x plus 5x. So if I'm at negative 1 and I add 5, it's going to be plus 4x. Negative 1y plus 3y is plus 2y minus 8. Okay, questions finally coming. Listen, if you are at negative 1 right here and you add 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is why you have 4x. So if you're at negative 1 and you add 5, you're at plus 4x. I'm at the second to last one. Any questions? Okay. 3r plus 3r is 6r. Minus 6r is nothing r. Plus 8r is 8r. 1s plus 4s is plus 5s. And then plus 9t plus 15 is plus 24t. Okay, last two. We've got, let's see, 11rs plus 4rs, 15rs, 11st plus 15st is plus 26st plus 12s minus 3. And 17xy plus 9xy, 26xy.
15xy.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 26 plus 15, 41 xy. Then 8yz minus 2yz is plus 6yz. Basically, the goal is this. If you cannot simplify expressions and combine the variables or put the correct variables together, you cannot do equations, and that's what we're getting ready to start. Okay? Now, please have out, I'm going to jump straight into notes. If you will have out a piece of paper, please get out your own paper. Parents, if you're listening, make sure your children restock their paper. I've said it for 3 days. Since Monday, I've been saying restock your paper. Now, here we go. Okay, so we are starting today to finally solve equations. We are going to be working with finding, finally, what is the variable. So we're going to solve equations, meaning they have equal signs, which otherwise is known as what is the variable. Okay? We know that variables are the letters in our math problems. We know that the variable can be any letter of the alphabet as long as it's lowercase. That's going to be a biggie. Okay? Now, to solve an equation, the first thing you need to know is what's called the inverse operations. Now, inverse operations just mean opposite. Like, what is the opposite? So, if you are looking at plus problems, the opposite is minus. If you're looking at minus, the opposite is addition. If you're looking at multiply, the opposite is divide. And divide, the opposite is multiply. Okay? So, we use what's called the inverse operation. Now, when doing an equation, just like when we're doing expressions, it is very, very, very step-oriented. And if you can get the steps memorized for every, like it's all the same steps. If you can get the steps memorized, how to solve it, then it'll be easy, easy, easy forever. Okay? Now, when you write the problem, okay, like if this was the problem on the worksheet, okay, just letting him finish. I need you to notice, because these equations are going to have equal signs. And on an equation that has an equal sign, it's like two sides of the math problem. Okay? Now, there is like some set words that I use that you won't need to use for long, but I'm just trying to get your brain wrapped around what you're doing here. The words are this. I always ask my students, I say, okay, where is your variable in that problem? X. So you're trying to get X all by itself down here. That's your goal, okay? Now, on that side of the equation, what is with the X?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. What's the opposite of a plus 3? Minus 3. Now, what you do on one side of an equation of the equal sign, you have to do on the other. Okay. Now, luckily, these disappear, and there is a reason. Think about it. If you are at 3, and you take away 3, you're at 0. So these get to disappear. Cross it out just one time. Don't scratch it out, just one little line. And then 6 minus 3 is 3, and there's your answer. Now, what you guys may not realize is you actually started algebra kind of back in like 2nd grade when teachers would do like triangle plus 3 equals 6. And they would ask you to fill in the triangle. But back then, we just knew our fast facts. We knew that 3 plus 3 is 6. Now, we are learning why it is 3. Algebra kind of says why it's 3. Because of the inverse operation is officially why. Okay, so let's say you have 8 equals y minus 3. Okay, so you've got like this imaginary line right here. We're trying to get y by itself. What's with the y that we're trying to get rid of? Minus 3. What is the opposite of a minus 3? Plus 3. But what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Leaves me with a y on this side, and 8 plus 3 is 11. Listen, that is solving. You solve for x. You solve for y. That is the answer. Y equals 11. Yep. So let's say you have this. Okay. C plus 2 equals 5. So what is with the C, that you want to get rid of? What's with the C that you want to get rid of? Plus 2. What's the opposite of a plus 2? Minus 2. Write it on both sides. C equals 5 minus 2 is 3. Now, those three are add or subtract. Pretty easy. Do the opposite, add or subtract. The key is with multiply divide, you know the opposite, but how to write it. It just looks a little different. So if you'll keep these for add and subtract, now I'll show you multiply divide. Okay? So, let's say you have something like 2a equals 6. Okay? Now, the idea is the same. You still have like this imaginary line. Your goal is to get a equals something. Okay? But to show it, we show it a little differently. 2 up against a means multiply. So the opposite is divide. Now, to show division, we put a fraction bar line. That is how we show divided by 2. When we go to this side, we divide by 2. Because what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Now, I need you to think. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 1 times any letter is that letter. So 1 times A is A. That's why these 2 get to go away, leaving you with just an A on that side. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then circle your answer. Now, you have to show all these steps. I do not know why you wouldn't be writing this down with me. Now, here we go. Let's do another one. Let's say you have 12 equals 4C. Okay, imaginary line right here. Trying to get C by itself. Okay, I have a times 4. The opposite is divide by 4. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. Gets rid of those, leaving me with a C. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. Yes. I know, we've talked about it, but we haven't solved for variables. The key is this. If you do not write out all these steps the same exact way I have them written on tonight's homework, you will end up in Homework Cafe tomorrow. I am setting you up for the world of algebra and how your future math teachers are going to make you write it. So if you do not have any examples, I really don't know how you're going to know what to do. Now, go into the next one. Let's say you have something like this. You have, let's see, okay, B over 4 equals 3. Okay. Now we're finally seeing one that is division. This is B divided by 4. you've still got that imaginary line right there, okay? So, if it is a divided by 4 with that b, we need to get rid of it by doing multiply. Now, I need you to look. We don't use time signs. You can either use the dot, but most algebra people will use parentheses. Okay? Now, if you truly think about this, if you have 4 divided by 4, it is 1, and 1 times the letter is always the letter, like it stays that letter, right? Okay? 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? They're easy. The biggest thing is just getting your brain wrapped around how do I write it. Because we don't use division signs and things like that. We use fraction bars. Okay, so let's say you have this one. What do we do to solve that one? Subtract what? Subtract 2 from both sides, and A equals 10. So, because if it's a plus 2, the opposite is minus 2. You do you're trying to get rid of it on this side, so you have to do the inverse operation on the opposite side. Please sit up. Let's say you have this one. So if it's divided by 5, the opposite is multiply by 5. These get to go away, and 4 times 5 is 20. Notice I'm still going down the paper, kind of like in that B. That'll kind of help also, okay? Now, what we're going to be doing is this assignment, and the front is add and subtract, the back is multiply, divide. The key is you have to show the steps. So, please don't try to short things. They eventually, yes. Right now, they're one-step equations. Okay, now, start now. I'm going to do just a few with you, and then I'm going to let you loose on it. Here we go. Yes. Here we go. So, the homework tonight is working on these one-step equations. The front being adding and subtracting, the back being multiply, divide. So in class, I normally do the first couple with you. There are also just a few that have some really weird answers, so you need to kind of get with me here. Okay, so to work out like number 1, it says y plus 6 equals 20. So the opposite is minus 6, minus 6. Show that. You have to show that. Leaves me with a y, and 20 minus 6 is 14. Circle that final answer. I don't know why some of you aren't writing anything. Like I'm sitting here doing your homework with you. Okay. Number 2, it is a x minus 10. So the opposite is plus 10. Leaving me with x equals 22. Number 3. Where's your paper? Get it out. If it is a positive 12, the opposite is minus 12. Z equals 3. Okay, looking at one like 6. 6 says m minus 5 equals negative 10. Now this is a weird one, but watch. You still do what's with the variable? Minus 5. What's the opposite of a minus 5? Plus 5. Okay, leaves me with m. What is negative 10 plus 5? Negative 5. I know we haven't done many negatives, but that one shouldn't be too bad. Because I'm not doing the whole thing with you. Number 11. I'm going to skip to that one because it's weird. Okay, it says x minus 15 equals negative 20. So the opposite of minus 15 is plus 15. It is negative 20 plus 15 is negative 5. Okay, I'm going to flip it over to the back and do a few of the multiply divide so you've got good examples. Here we go. You've got 2 times x equals 16. So the opposite of times is divide. Okay, the ones that match get to go away. And 16 divided by 2 is 8.
Does it matter if we X them out? Or do we have to cross them out?
Try it. Well, you don't have to. No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so 3t, we're getting rid of 3 times t. So the opposite is divide both sides by 3. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. I just keep mine going straight down. So if my t is on the right side, I keep it on the right side. That's just me. Okay, 21 is the weird one because unfortunately the math problem number is right next to it. If I was doing this on notebook paper, I would scoot it over and leave some space right there. The reason is it officially means k divided by 2. So the opposite of divided by 2 is multiply to 2. Now, I've been putting it right here, just kind of off to the side. And then on that side. So k equals 12. But you do need to write like times 2 on each side. So like if I do 23 here, it is j divided by 3. I would do times 3. Times 3. J equals 12. Okay, I'm going to let you finish this. Tomorrow I'll check it. Go for it.